Good morning from Oklahoma. I'm Dave Deken with a look at what's happening in agriculture and rural life in our great state in this episode of Red Dirt and Round Bales. Harvest is a busy time of year across the southern Great Plains, and this year has proven that once again. This past Monday, I had the opportunity to talk with folks who are growing the crop and monitoring the global markets for the wheat coming out of the Oklahoma fields while shooting crop updates for the Oklahoma Wheat Commission. Pete Matheson of Matheson Farms near Billings, Oklahoma, is the fourth generation to work the Noble County land that his great-great-grandfather settled after the land run of 1893. Talking with Pete, I learned why he continues to grow wheat on this land even in a year when the rain didn't fall as it usually does.
It's very, very mixed. The wheat we're cutting right now is going to make in the 20s. I have had some that I haven't added tickets, but I think it's going to maybe make about 50. But it's kind of everywhere in between. I always go in all in. I put out the fertilizer and chemical. I try to do the very best I can every year. When the Lord blesses us with a good crop, it's a good day, and when it's not so good, we get out there and harvest it either way. Yeah, March was very strange. Usually we get several inches of rain in March, and we had a couple days that was close to 100, and it really didn't rain here in March, and that was it hurt the crop for sure, because it accelerated everything up, and it started putting heads out early, and it was an unusual spring. Usually it tillers out and then it grows, and there's not nearly as many heads as I usually see. I can see the bunny rabbits running down the rows, and when you can see the bunny rabbits running, it's not a bumper crop. And like I said, it's weird because the heads on the wheat are pretty big. So if you got a lot of seeds, it offsets some of that, but this is a very unusual harvest.
Special thank you to Pete for talking with me while the fifth generation of Mathesons were cutting wheat behind us. So thank you, Ryan and Lily, for letting your dad take a quick break from harvest to talk about the crop. As for what to do with the wheat after it makes its way through the combine and out the auger, that's where some decisions will be made that impact more than just covering expenses. Oklahoma State University Extension Grain Marketing Specialist Dr. Todd Hubbs explains why there's a lot that goes into the price of wheat, especially when the crop is one of the smallest in recent history.
Well, we're starting to see the winter wheat crop getting harvested here in Oklahoma and Texas because it was just such a poor crop. The USDA projected it in the May crop production report at 550 million bushels, the hard red winter crop. That's the lowest we've seen since, I think, 1957, so it's just brutal. Now we've got a lot lower acreage, but the yield's looking like here in Oklahoma, they're saying 28 bushels an acre. From what I've seen, that's probably not far off. It's been a pretty rough year for us. Price-wise, after that crop production report in May, we saw the July contract briefly touch $7.50 a bushel. That would have put us here in Oklahoma, given our basis in most places, in the $6.90 to $7 range. That looks like the high right now. We've since fallen back down around $6.50. We've got a bad crop, but we carried in a lot of wheat around the globe. And when we look at the northern hemisphere crops right now in the EU, there's some rough parts, but for the most part, it's not bad. You're seeing some issues in Poland and the Baltic states. Russia's looking okay. Ukraine's looking okay. There's a lot of talk about Australia, but that really doesn't come in till this fall. They're going to be down for sure because their acreage is down. And the El Niño event that's probably coming, it might impact them severely. The problem is we saw what looks like North Africa and the Middle East had really good wheat crops. There's some very strong wheat importers, particularly from the Black Sea and the EU, and I think that's impacting their prices and the movement.
Thank you, Dr. Hubbs of Oklahoma State University, for helping me understand what is going into the price of this wheat crop across the southern Great Plains. And I also need to thank Pete for giving my daughter Savannah a ride on the combine after our interview. She loves doing that every time we cover harvest. To learn more about the Oklahoma wheat crop and to see the Oklahoma Wheat Commission's latest crop update, visit reddirtandroundbales.com. I'm Dave Deken, and we'll talk with you next time when we take another look at rural life and agriculture in Oklahoma on Red Dirt and Round Bales.